The Haunting of the Tower of London. Ghosts of History. The Tower of London is one of Britain's most iconic landmarks, standing as a symbol of strength, power, and the dark history of the British monarchy. But beneath its stony exterior lies a more sinister tale, a fortress where ghosts of the past are said to walk the halls, corridors, and courtyards, replaying moments of tragedy, betrayal, and bloodshed. For nearly a millennium, the tower has witnessed some of the darkest chapters in British history, from royal intrigue and betrayal to gruesome executions. Built in 1078 by William the Conqueror, the tower has served as a royal palace, a prison, and a place of execution. Yet, many believe that the suffering experienced within its walls has left a permanent mark on the building, making it one of the most haunted places in England. This series delves into the tower's long and haunting history, exploring the legends and real-life stories that have cemented its reputation as a place where spirits linger and history refuses to rest. One of the most famous spirits said to haunt the tower is that of Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII. Anne's story is one of ambition, love, betrayal, and tragedy. She captivated Henry VIII, becoming his queen and changing the course of English history by leading to England's break with the Catholic Church. However, after failing to produce a male heir, Anne fell out of favor with Henry. Accused of treason, adultery, and incest, charges widely believed to be fabricated, Anne was arrested and imprisoned in the Tower. On May 19, 1536, Anne was beheaded on Tower Green by a French swordsman, specially brought in for the execution, supposedly to give her a swift and merciful death. Since then, it is said that Anne Boleyn's ghost has roamed the tower, still bearing the marks of her unjust fate. Many visitors and staff have reported sightings of Anne's ghost wandering through the rooms and grounds of the tower. The most common sightings occur near the Queen's house, where Anne was held before her execution, and Tower Green, where she met her tragic end. Anne is often described as wearing a white gown and appears to be carrying her severed head in her hands. One of the most famous encounters occurred in the 19th century when a guard reportedly saw Anne's figure walking toward him. Terrified, the guard attempted to challenge the ghost, only to be met with silence. In a panic, he lunged at her with his bayonet, but the weapon passed straight through her spectral figure. The guard fainted from fear and later reported what he had seen to his superiors. Anne's restless spirit is believed to be tied to the tower, as she experienced some of her darkest moments within its walls. Her execution, the betrayal by Henry, and the false charges all contributed to her lingering presence. To this day, many claim that Anne's ghost can be seen near the site of her execution, a tragic figure doomed to relive her final moments for eternity. Another tragic and mysterious tale associated with the Tower of London is that of the two young princes, Edward V and his younger brother, Richard, Duke of York. In 1483, following the death of their father, King Edward IV, the two boys were placed in the Tower of London by their uncle, Richard, Duke of Gloucester. Richard was supposed to act as their protector, but he quickly seized the throne, becoming King Richard III. The young princes were never seen alive again. The disappearance of the princes has remained one of the greatest mysteries in English history. It is widely believed that the boys were murdered to secure Richard's hold on the throne, but their bodies were never found, at least, not until nearly 2 centuries later. In 1674, 2 small skeletons were discovered buried beneath a staircase in the tower. These remains were presumed to belong to the princes, but modern forensic tests have yet to conclusively prove their identity. Over the years, numerous visitors and staff have reported sightings of 2 ghostly figures believed to be the spirits of the young princes. These figures are often described as pale and dressed in period clothing. They are most commonly seen in the Bloody Tower, where the boys were believed to have been imprisoned and possibly murdered. One account from the 15th century tells of a guard who heard the sounds of children laughing late at night in the Bloody Tower. When he went to investigate, he saw 2 small, ghostly figures running down the staircase. Upon reaching the bottom of the stairs, the children disappeared into thin air. Other reports describe the apparitions of the princes standing hand in hand, as if seeking comfort from each other in their final hours. Their tragic fate, coupled with the mystery surrounding their disappearance, has kept their spirits tied to the tower. The story of the princes in the tower is a chilling reminder of the dark and often ruthless nature of royal politics in medieval England. Lady Jane Grey, often referred to as the 9 Days Queen, is another spirit said to haunt the tower. Lady Jane's story is one of political maneuvering and betrayal. In 1553, after the death of King Edward VI, Jane was placed on the throne as queen in a bid to prevent the Catholic Mary Tudor from taking power. However, Jane's reign was short-lived, lasting only 9 days before she was overthrown and imprisoned in the Tower. Jane's youth and innocence have made her one of the most tragic figures in British history. She was only 16 or 17 years old when she was executed, alongside her husband, Lord Guilford Dudley. Both were beheaded on Tower Hill in February 1554. Jane's ghost is said to appear in the Tower's Beauchamp Tower, where she was held during her imprisonment. She has been seen weeping in her cell, possibly reflecting on the betrayal that led to her downfall and death. Her sorrowful figure is often described as dressed in white, moving silently through the corridors where she spent her final days. One famous sighting took place in 1957 when a guard reportedly saw a ghostly figure matching Jane's description in the tower. He claimed that the spirit appeared to be distressed, pacing back and forth near the walls of the tower. When he approached her, the figure vanished before his eyes. Jane's story, like Anne Boleyn's, is one of betrayal and loss. Though she was a pawn in a larger political game, her fate was sealed, and her brief reign ended in tragedy. The spirit of Lady Jane Grey is believed to remain in the tower, a symbol of the dangers that accompany the pursuit of power. The Tower of London is home to numerous other spirits beyond its more famous residents. One of the lesser-known but frequently reported apparitions is the White Lady. This ghostly figure, dressed in a long white gown, has been seen in various parts of the tower, particularly near the White Tower, the oldest part of the fortress. The White Lady's identity remains a mystery. Some believe she may be a noblewoman who met a tragic end, while others speculate that she could be connected to one of the many royal prisoners who perished within the tower's walls. Witnesses have described seeing the White Lady standing silently in corners, watching visitors as they pass by, or appearing near the windows of the White Tower. One chilling account comes from a visitor in the early 20th century who claimed to have smelled a strong floral perfume before encountering the White Lady. Moments later, the figure appeared in front of her, only to disappear into thin air. The scent of flowers has since become associated with the White Lady's presence, with several other visitors reporting similar experiences. In addition to the White Lady, other ghostly figures have been spotted throughout the tower. Soldiers in old-fashioned uniforms have been seen marching along the battlements, and the sound of footsteps has been heard echoing through empty corridors. Some have even reported hearing the clinking of chains, possibly tied to the spirits of the many prisoners who were held and tortured within the tower. The Tower of London's long and bloody history has left an indelible mark on the building. From queens to princes, soldiers to prisoners, the spirits of the past seem to remain tethered to the fortress, unable or unwilling to move on. The Tower of London remains one of the most haunted places in Britain, drawing visitors not just for its historical significance, but for its reputation as a site of paranormal activity. The ghosts of the tower are a testament to the suffering, betrayal, and violence that have unfolded within its walls over the centuries. For some, these spirits are a link to the past, a way to connect with history on a deeply personal level. For others, the tower's hauntings serve as a reminder of the human cost of political ambition and the fragility of life, even for those who once held great power. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the stories of the tower's haunted history continue to captivate and intrigue. Each sighting, each eerie encounter, adds another layer to the tower's rich and mysterious legacy, a place where the line between the living and the dead is blurred, and the past is never truly at rest. The haunting of the Tower of London is more than just a collection of ghost stories. It is a reflection of the dark and often brutal history that has shaped this iconic fortress. From royal intrigue and betrayal to gruesome executions, the tower has seen it all, and perhaps, within its walls, the echoes